I've made fun of our listeners on the show because none of them were alive when 9/11 happened. But for those of you who were too young to remember those good times, you better start believing in them because you're living in it right now. And I guess I have to say the one thing Chris, I was talking to you last night, and the one thing I'm still struck by is when you said that basically, like, as far as people on the right go, we know what they believe. They're happy to tell you about it. But like, and I say this to our younger listeners, right now you're getting an object lesson from liberals in that, like, they believe the exact same thing and have they're begging to let someone pull the trigger, provided they are told that they are Harry Potter when they're doing it. Like, if like as long as the people that like they want to be wiped out or could be described as Voldemort, they're ready for it all. They're on board 1,000%.
It is crazy when I think about it that, like, so we did our show for 12 years or something like that, and you guys have been around forever now too, and 9 probably, right? Am I wrong?
7 or 8 years, 7 years, 8 years,
and this is like the most 9/11-ish time. Like, this is what 9/11 felt like on the radio, like reading Twitter and watching news. It's crazy.
You guys saw the Josh Gottheimer thing, right?
Oh yeah, they're guilty. They're guilty.
Yeah. So for people who don't know, Josh Gottheimer, who's a 4'13" congressman, I think he was in the like now abandoned Problem Solvers Caucus or something like it. He was like one of those guys, and there was some congressional meeting, and like someone wanted to have like talk about a throwback in interfaith dialogue.
Yeah.
When was the last time you had one of those? That's I can't even remember the last time. But someone said something about like inviting Muslim leaders from Lehigh Valley in Pennsylvania, and he said they're guilty. Like, of what? I don't know, but after the last, I'd say like 7 years, you would assume this is the type of thing that would like get someone, a Democrat, like thrown off of all their committees, right? Like it's been years of like land acknowledgements and Trudeau's like inclusive socks and like all this shit, but everything reverts to the mean in America.
I honestly, the New York Democratic Party, like the land acknowledgement party, who needs to acknowledge that Manhattan is occupied Lenape land, but then they're like, Governor Kathy Molecule was asked, like, well, what about Americans who have relatives in Palestine and are worried for their safety? She was just like, they should denounce Hamas.
Yeah.
They should be very clear that not to be on the. They should make it clear that they stand with Israel. Yeah, and I gotta say, like, to the people out there in the liberal media whose consciences are so pained right now by what Hamas is making Israel do to the Palestinian people, I just gotta say, like, you haven't got there yet. But if you write an article that is nuanced and balanced enough, and it's like in its critique, and like it is so moral that like I think the occupation has a good chance of ending.
Yeah, it's really a shame. We were 2 weeks away from there was. I mean, all the cherries were going to line up in the slot machine. There was a wellspring of Western sympathy coming. Most people give up before then, unfortunately.